contest so far this year, and I'm sure that he'll be attempting to do that again this afternoon.
Their experienced man in control, Eddie Ward. And we're underway. The Sydney Football Stadium, and the kickoff by Manly and Luke Phillips. So it's the first touch of the ball for the Roosters, and Barnhill takes it up and gets driven back in the tackle. Also joining us in commentary today, the injured Cronulla halfback, Paul Green. Paul, good to see you again. And your tips today?
Well, I think I'll have to tip the Roosters after they had a great win last week against the Broncos. And I think, as Wally mentioned, Adrian Lammy's got a point to prove with the first Origin only a week away. And he's definitely a key to the Roosters.
Oh, gee, and I tell you, Nick Kosef, as a penalty comes the way of the Sydney City Roosters. Nick Kosef just walking past now. He was knocked absolutely cold. Went up to try and put a pretty big hit on. It didn't work. He hit the floor very hard. Got the trainer out there at the moment as we see the incident. You can just see him straight backwards. He was snoring before he hit the ground. A very vital part of their plan. They'll have to make sure that they get him back into shape pretty quick.
So it's Pickering to play it right in front of our sideline eye today. Peter Mulholland, former first-grade coach. What about conditions, Peter?
Yeah, Greg, the ground's remarkably in good condition. The drainage system here is obviously working very, very well. There's a slight southerly breeze, probably behind Manly at the moment. But just talking to Bob Fulton before the match, he was saying that it wasn't the forwards that where he lost the match last week. It was on the fringes, and just with that big hit, I think that's where Eastern Suburbs may play them today. And I've just got this little feeling that East might be too strong on the fringes for Manly today.
Okay, well, it's now Sydney City, the Roosters, applying the early pressure, and Cleary is taken, and a good ball and all tackle by Hopawate, his opposite number. Now it's Fittler, kicks across field for the winger on the left, and it's taken over there by Robert Miles. Out to Goulet, they keep it alive. Did it come off the legs? It did, it's a tie! A bit of luck going the Roosters' way, but they will take it. Eddie Ward says it's no knock on, it came off the legs, and Singh was there to claim it. So they're off to a real flyer here at home. The Sydney City Roosters 4-0 over Manly. Only a couple of minutes gone.
Well, you present your own luck in a football game, but have a look at this. There was not one player that got anywhere near stopping the kick from Fittler across field. Even Fittler thought it was a shocker, dropped the head, but there were 3 Sydney players that decided to get up there. A terrific scoop up provided the opportunity. Ball coming back on the inside. I think he had a look at that, Matty Singh, on that occasion, and just thought, well, tell you what, if they're going to get passes like that, all I'm going to do is kick them. They're not worth picking up.
Yeah, that's right. When you put the ball in the air, as Brad Fittler did the old crossfield kick, it's a real raffle. You know, anything can happen, and as it turned out, the loose ball come up and Matty Singh put it on the toe. It was quick enough to get through.
Well, it's a tough start from just over 2 minutes into the match. Exactly what Bob Fulton didn't want, but strangely sometimes, Peter Mulholland, they can work to your advantage.
They can too. Well, this will just settle them down a little bit. It's not too far onto the track, but again, enthusiasm at this time of the start of the match. Eastern Suburbs just got through that on enthusiasm. A number of support players there.
Cleary trying to add the extra 2. He raises the flags from out wide, so it's 6 points to 0. The Sydney City Roosters over the Manly Sea Eagles.
Manly have just got to forget about that try now and just treat this as the start of the game now. They're 6 behind, but just got to get their own rhythm and get back into the game.
So the restart once again by the Sea Eagles, and this is Barnhill. There'll be an action next Friday night for the Blues in State of Origin 1, coming off the bench. Pickering, Fiji international, working himself into some pretty good form after that horrendous run of injuries over the years. And have a look at this break. Well, they're finding some holes. The inside pass to Cleary. He got away from one, and it's Hancock that grabs him from behind. But gee, that was a great break by Luke Ricketson, and they're on the charge again, the Roosters. They go wide, big line up out to the left, but Fittler's going to turn it back to the right. Benetti. Ricketson that started it, and he's only going to be about 3 or 4 metres out when he's tackled. Benetti a dummy half. Lamb. Plenty of numbers out wide. He's going to have a go on his own, though. Taken there. And a good tackle coming in, though, by Kalala. 6-0, they lead. There's the kick, and again it's across field, taken by Cleary. Handballs it back, and the bounce is good for the Sea Eagles. Sidaris turns it back to Hopawati, and they survive that onslaught.
Well, Greg, I tell you, they're really going to have to get their defensive pattern back into shape, Manly. The original break came from the ball going across field. We saw Ricketson take it across, but it was a very slack effort from Neil Tierney on the inside, who failed to chase and just didn't make any effort to try and dive.
I think he was just a bit outpaced.
So now they've got some work to do to get it out of their own half. The Seagulls. Colella plays it to the short side. They go. Big Neil Tierney charges it up towards halfway. Sydney City have scored 43 tries this year, now 44, and they've only conceded 21. Manly have scored 25, but they've conceded 36. Nelsgood returns the football. And Manly have conceded more tries from bombs than any other team as well, and that's probably why Fittler is going to the air. He's aware of that record.
Plus, if you get a good organised chase, a bomb's it's a really good option. Anything can happen.
Yulo to play at 10 from halfway. Good metres by Benetti. Didn't have any support though. He picked up 15 metres there. Sloppy defence around the ruck by the Sea Eagles, and now Lamb kicking ahead. No fullback at home. And the penalty's going to go to Sydney City. Lamb taken out of play. It's a gift, 2 points if they want it.
The first man was all right. The second man tripped him like that as he went past him. Good question. Ask him.
Pretty good question for Reddy Ward on that occasion. But that's something that is the difference between winning and losing, putting more pressure on yourself. I don't think there was any question that Manly were going to come up with a football on that occasion. It was fairly well covered by Luke Phillips, who looked like he had a mile of time to get back. Possible penalty coming up could open it up to 8 points, but the discipline really looks to be something that's sadly lacking. I just had another look on that occasion at a couple of the Manly players. Here's the chip coming up, very well placed. Oh, gee, I tell you what, he didn't really look like he put the foot out to trip him there. Well, the referee's a little bit closer. We'll leave it up to him. That's what they're paid for. But
Consider himself a bit unlucky there, I reckon.
Just say that again. But Nick Kosef, he's not real flash. I just saw him in a tackle prior to that one again. Made the tackle, got up and stumbled, fell down again. Looked like he'd been doing rounds with Tyson for a while.
With the wobbly boot on.
So it's Ivan Cleary. That's a mission from there. The radar is on target today for Cleary. That's the highest percentage of any goal kicker in 98. And now it's 8 points to 0. Sydney City over Manly. Fine start, Peter Mulholland.
It is, yeah. It's like Wally said, those fringes. If Kosef is out like he is, I mean, I don't think he's 100% fit, and they're playing on the fringes. That was a fringe break before earlier, and Hopewadi's left side in defence. I think they'll be working pretty hard at that as well. He's still coming to grips with the centre defence.
Worrying thing for Manly too is that last set of 6, Benetti made a good split up the middle. And your defence starts around that ruck area, so if they're not tied in there, they're going to struggle on the fringes as well.
Well, they've only got to look at Sydney City's average for the year. In fact, they've won their last 6, scoring 33 points on average per game. So surely Manly don't need to be reminded that they have to work overtime in defence to shut down the Sydney City machine. And now it's Barnhill up to the 40-metre mark. Taken underneath by Menzies. Lines over the top with Taylor. Fittler finds some open spaces. And it's taken by Phillips. He's about 15 from halfway. Tuvey in the dummy half position. Joe Taylor straight ahead. It's been all Sydney City so far. Manly need this football. That's the halfway mark, and some good defence by the Roosters. Gaffey and also Ricketson in there. Luke Ricketson, the top tackler in the NRL, averaging about 29 per match. What a fine season he's having. Now it's Sidaris running it to the line. The hooker with the hitter. Final tackle on the way. They go wide to Cliffy Lyons. Cliffy having a run. They're going to run it on the 6. Back to Menzies. Now he kicks straight ahead. But the first touch of the ball, and first grade for Ryan Cross. But the referee has spotted something there. The touch judge is on.
8, 5, 6. Now hold it. No. Here's what we're going to. What is this? It's 6.
Well, he was held back, but gee, there wasn't much in that. There was no one around Ryan Cross.
Yeah, just a second.
through. This player's grabbed him and totally stopped him in his track, so he had no way of even getting near him.
All right. You hear what the touch judge just said? That's what the penalty. Where's the penalty, Tony? Just see. All right, let him go.
Well, now the penalty goes to Manly, so if it was borderline that last decision that offered an opportunity to kick for goal for Sydney City, I guess he had to be pretty fair and take the touch judge's report on that occasion. It's even Stevens.
A bit of a square up. Opportunity for Manly to get 2 points.
Tell you what they are missing too. I mean, Craig Field might be off the park and having a rest, but there's just no organisation around that ruck at the moment. Manly, the kicking game was absolutely poor then. Tuvey was caught out, no options on kicks.
Everyone still now.
Yeah, I think that's one area where they will really miss Craig Field. He's got a very good kicking game.
10.5 minutes gone. Phillips. He puts Manly on the board for the first time. 8 points to 2. Still Sydney City over the Sea Eagles. David Gillespie, gee, they could do with him out there in 98, couldn't they? They're certainly missing him and Mark Garrell.
Yeah, he had that real power, didn't he, to persuade players not to run up the middle of the ruck.
Yeah, he's such a good defender. You know, if you run straight at him, he's going to loosen you.
The only bloke who really panel beat him with his shoulders.
So Cleary with the restart for the Roosters. Tierney straight ahead. Both Singh and Fittler in there over the top, along with Goulet. The Seagulls 25 metres out from their own line. Terry Hill looking for a bit of work. Tuvey up towards halfway. So they got thrashed last week, but just to show you the heart of Jeff Tuvey, he was the highest tackler with about 30 tackles against Newcastle last week, and he had the most hit-ups as well. Cliffy Lyons gets the grubber kick in and finds touch about 5 metres out from the Roosters line. And Ryan Cross couldn't do much about that one at the back.
Yeah, they're often questioned the value of these sort of kicks now. I say that you're probably better off putting the ball in the air, but I think under the current set of circumstances for the Sea Eagles, it's not a bad ploy to try and come up with. They're a little bit beaten and bashed around after the last couple of thrashings.
Nice and easy,
I think they've got to try and make sure that they're as structured as they possibly can get in their defence.
Also, that just breaks up the game a bit, slows the game, the pace of the game down, and helps Manly try to get into their own rhythm.
Gaffey. Out the back door to Goulet. Lamb. Now it's Pickering on the charge. 20 from halfway. Fittler mixes out a couple of players, goes wide to Cleary. Crosses a dummy half to Fittler. Great ball out wide to Lamb. The inside pass to Singh, the try scorer. He's taken on the halfway. 3 Seagulls defenders in there. Fittler. Phillips, perfectly placed. 20 out from his own line. Makes another 10 before he gets to the defence. Hancock a dummy half. Taylor will play it. The other front row, Tierney. That's the halfway mark. To the short side, Kallela, bit of a fumble. Just holds on in time as the defenders arrive. Kosef back to Tuvey. Final tackle coming up. Cliffy will want a kick. Midfield bomb. Bit of pressure on Miles on the far side, but the winger took it well. 15 out from his own line. Here's Ryan Cross. First run for him on debut.
Very well. The ball in behind him. A fair bit of pressure as well from Manly, but I think that's what they've got to try and keep up. Create a little bit of doubt in the mind, as well as putting on pressure, such as they've just been able to do. A very simple error. Situations like this, Paul, you can't afford to give away. You just pick up possession, don't you? And there's no pressure on and a forward pass. Really, you can't blame the opposition.
Not at all. You just they've just given Manly the chance to apply some pressure.
Hold it, Blue, hold it.
Manly get a good opportunity to put pressure on the Roosters here with some good field position. 6 tackles in their own 30.
15 minutes gone. That's the first error in the match. So the handling has been good. Hopewate. So can they hit back with a try here, the Seagulls? This is Kalala working to the centre of the field. Sedaris waits for the dummy half. Kosef straight on. Inside that 10-metre zone. Sedaris. He goes wide to Lyons. Lyons picks up Menzies. Menzies is in for the try. They have hit back. The Sea Eagles. 8 points to 6 now. It came from that mistake by Sydney City. And Manly, they're making a match of it.
Well, there's a couple of pretty important points in there. Have a look at that pass coming from Sedaris right out in front of Cliff. Made him run onto the football. Of course, we were talking about it before the game. If you give him time and space, you're really making a lot of doubt in your own teammates' minds. Lyons taking the ball across. Again, Menzies just coming onto the ball, aiming at a hole. And I don't know whether the East boys would be all that happy with that defence there, Paul.
No, they. It's the first time Manly have really had a bit of possession and good field position. But I'd like to know how many tries Steve Menzies has scored off Cliff Lyons' passes. They've got such a great combination together. Menzies just must know what he's doing before Cliffy does, I think.
I think it'll be around about 85 or 90%, wouldn't you?
Yeah.
Terrific to see teamwork like that, but I think that's probably, sadly, one of the things that's probably hurt Manly a little bit, that he's become that used to playing and running off Cliff all the time, whilst Cliffy hasn't been there at his peak with injuries or whatever. It's made it a little bit difficult to adjust to somebody else.
Yeah, he hasn't really been as effective when Cliffy doesn't play.
And Phillips brings it round from out wide. That's a great conversion. It's locked up here at 8-all. Manly are back in Peter Mulholland. That will give them plenty of confidence.
Yeah, plenty of confidence. I think Wally's very, very right here. There's going to be some questions asked of Ivan Cleary. He's just allowed Steve Menzies to get on his outside. He never watched Menzies at all. Numbering off was quite obvious. And again, Menzies is an expert at it. But I think Ivan Cleary's got a few questions to answer on that one.
Yeah, I think I probably should have given a bit of a rap on that occasion too to John Hopewate. He ran on the inside angle and held up the inside defence. Slowed him down a little bit.
Kick off by Cleary. One try apiece now. And Tierney heads it up. Makes it to the 20.
One thing about the Roosters' defence, they employ a slide defence, but they really like to pack in. So if you can get the ball out to the fringes, there is good opportunity to make some easy yards out there.
Damien Brown is on there in 16 for the Sea Eagles. Very pleasant afternoon as far as the temperature goes. And Menzies gets it to Hopewate up over halfway. John Hopewate comes to cross inside to field, up to Hancock rather, and he's taken by Ellsgood. Well, they caught them napping down the short side. Hopewate out dummy half, and it's now lines through Tuvey, showing it on the inside. They go wide. Menzies just manages to hold on to that football, almost a knock on. Sedaris at dummy half. The Roosters back in their defensive line. There's the kick from Cliffy Lyons, and Cross leaves it for Matty Singh to take it on the full.
Probably not the best of kicks there from Cliffy. He would have been hoping for a bit more air, give his chasers plenty of time to come through and pressure. I see Menzies just getting on the outside of Lamb there, who's defending in the centres. That's what I said previously.
There was some great wheel work on that occasion too from Jack Ellsgood. He did very well, but here we go. Manly coming up now to an opportunity to put even more pressure on. A simple error right in the centre of the field. A goal and attacking opportunity.
Yes, I think it was a knock on from the restart. They had a 20-metre tap and they've knocked it on and handed it back to Manly, and they could pay for it. Hill! Terry Hill still going strong. They managed to wrestle him into the turf, only about 3 metres out from the line. From dummy half goes Sedaris. There's no way through there. Too much traffic for the hooker. Kalala at dummy half. To the right they go. No, he has a go on his own and he's getting very close. Just pushed back at the last moment. Tuvi. Short ball. Kosef, it's forward.
Well, he's called it forward, but it should have been a penalty to Manly. Matt Singh was about 4 metres offside. As the ball was being played, he was blatantly in front of the try line. Obviously, Eddie Ward, the referee, had his back to it. You can see him there. Have a look at this as the ball goes. There's no way in the world he's anywhere near behind the line. It was tough for the referee to call there, but we do have systems for communication between the referees and touch judges. But they're a little bit hard done by there.
It was only 10 metres away from the touch judge. The touch judge comes in before about that kick, and something like that happens. That's what they need.
Peter Mulholland, that was the first occasion that Manly did not complete their set of 6.
Yeah, you know, after the start they got, and to come back as they have done has been tremendous, and that's a little bit of experience of Lyons and Tuvi in that as well. Terry Hill's been a great thrust too. The couple of long breaks they have made, Terry Hill's been involved in them.
And the penalty goes to the Roosters. Brad Fittler on the 20-metre mark will try and find touch on the broadcast side here at the Sydney Football Stadium. Kicks for the other side now. Interesting on looking today. Craig Fielding has shin splints, so he's out for a couple of weeks. There was some talk around that maybe the omission from the initial 17 was a bit of a smokescreen. Some critics thought that they might bring him back in.
Well, we've got an incident there is going to be a report on, I'm pretty certain.
16 has been called out, Damien Brown.
No, go away. Don't need to. It doesn't matter whether you slip or not. If you come in contact with the head, you get yourself into trouble, right? Let's get our tackles down and keep them down. That's all I'm going to say to you.
So a warning to Brown, not on report. Let's have a look at it here. Oh, well, certainly on the jaw.
Pretty lucky.
14 is on there now. Justin Dooley, one of the Western Suburbs player, as well as Hunter Mariner. Goulet.
He's good at getting the offload away, Justin Dooley. And nothing breaks up the defence more than when a forward hits the line and is able to offload.
Lamb finds Cleary, but he finds his opposite number. Hopawate standing in front of him, about 11 metres out. 16 is Nat Wood from the bench as well. So both coaches using the interchange bench. Barnhill plays it. Wood from dummy half. He's only a couple of metres out. Final tackle coming up. Locked up at 8-all here at the SFS. There's a little kick in behind the line. But Hancock, I thought for a moment he was going to get a pretty good bounce and he'd make an attempt to get out of the end goal, but in the end he played it safe and just handballed it over the dead ball line. So it'll be a restart from the goalposts.
Yeah, you're right, Greg. I think he probably just summed up the situation, had a little bit of a bit of a look just before he went to grab that ball and realised there was no chance of taking the ball away. Safety first and just try and make sure that they can maintain a structured bit of discipline in their defence with this set of 6.
Here's Dooley. Plenty of metres to wind up. Taken by Tuvi. Also in there was Kosef. Now it's Barnhill. Wood at dummy half. Fittler. Lamb running to the line. Picks up Gaffey. Good tackle by Menzies. Lamb again at dummy half. Fittler with the step. Fittler will get the try. Oh, he's all class. He was not entitled to score that try on that occasion, but the man was just too good. Got the step going and got the power working and crashed over for another 4-pointer.
Well, you can have a look at Manly's defence. It's pretty scattered out there. Fittler saw that, decided to run up. He picked the guys he was going to run between. Picked it between the hooker.
There's plenty of defenders there.
Oh, he was way out of the line though. But they still are pretty ordinary tackles when you have a look at that. He's tackled on his right shoulder, his preferred left shoulder tackler. Maybe Fittler's taken that into account, but that is a very ordinary example of defence. They had him easily accounted for there.
There's 4 or 5 defenders there. Fittler's He's got a great left foot step, one of the deadliest in the game. But, you know, they really should have probably made the tackle 10 out from the line, not even that.
Ordinary defence, but I think you've got to pay credit to Fiddler. He sized up that situation and decided he was going to post points.
2 tries to 1, 2 from 2 for Cleary. Make it 3 from 3, so the gap is 6 points again. 14 points to 8. How good is Freddie Fiddler on a day like today? Peter Mulholland.
Yeah, he's not too bad, mate. Have a look at this one too. Both defenders have gone low on him. A little bit of lack of torque there as well. But dead set, first-grade footballers have got to make tackles like that. As Paul said, I think there was 4 or 5 players. But give credit to Nigel Gaffey too. That was a great play the ball that he put on just in that ruck. It was a very, very quick play the ball leading into that.
Also, they started the game, guys like Fittler and Lamb hitting their outside runners just brings Manly into starting to not worry so much about those inside guys, and that's when you get gaps for people like Fittler, as we just saw.
So Barnhill will play it up towards his own 20. Now it's Dooley, taken by Tierney and Sedaris. Ricketson. Up some pretty easy meters, really. And now they get the penalty, just holding on in the tackle.
Well, they've got to get rid of simple errors like that. I mean, they're going 4 and 5 tackles through the count before they're coming up with an error like that. Effectively, they're going to go 10 in a row. Here's the incident coming up. I don't think there was any doubt that there was a little bit of slow play there.
Just that side's off the hook. You give away a silly penalty like that, and they're in your half.
Now Dooley will play it inside Manly territory. Another good run by Barnhill.
Geez, got through some work already.
Lamb across the face of the ruck. Briggs cross in from fullback. Cross on debut will get a try. What a day for Ryan Cross. 18 years of age. Only a handful of President's Cups matches. And the star of the future lives up to his big reputation. Ryan Cross, the 3rd try for Sydney City.
A hole well hit. John Hopewadi and Cliffy Lyons left clutching at straws on the ground eventually. Cliff Lyons, the one that was probably responsible for the tackle. I'm not sure whether Hopewadi thought that he was needed to go in and make the tackle. But communication, that's the problem for him at the moment, Paul.
Definitely. Cliffy Lyons has come in there when there was absolutely no need for him to do that. You've got Menzies inside him, who's a very good defender. There was no real need. And as Lamb picked his run and hit Cross, poor Cliffy, he was in no man's land.
Well, a big day for Ryan Cross. He's also the New South Wales under-18 shot put champion. Big day for his dad too, because 34 years ago his father Paul Cross made his debut for the Eastern Suburb side against Manly on that occasion. Last time I saw Ryan Cross, he was playing fullback for the Australian schoolboys in rugby union against the Poms at North Sydney Oval last year. Just about every talent scout in town was there. Graham Langlands, Arthur Beetson, and of course Sydney City got the signature. Cleary from out wide, and this time just to the left. No goal, so he's missed one. 18 points to 8. Sydney City over Manly. 2 quick tries, Pete.
Yeah, I just wonder if Gus is not targeting this left-hand side Manly defence with Cliffy and John Hopewadi in particular. I mean, it's just as Paul had said before, it's just a lack of communication between the two of them. But I still believe that John Hopewadi's having troubles coming to grips with the centre defence.
Well, another kick-off from Luke Phillips and the Sea Eagles. This is Barnhill. 3 defenders in there to stop him in his tracks this time. Fittler is controlling things at 5'8". Wood at dummy half. Now Dooley.
He's a player to watch out of dummy half, Nathan Wood. He's lightning off the mark. If your markers just go to sleep for a second, he'll split you.
Now it's Gaffey. In fact, it's Ricketson, the second rower. Wood at dummy half, and Pickering is back on there. After a bit of a spell on the interchange bench. Fittler gets a kick in. Taken by Phillips. 10 out from his own line. Torrens is there in support.
Great take from Phillips there on the run. Very hard to take those spiral torpedo kicks.
Penalty Manly. Lions will find touch on the far side. Coming up to the 30-minute mark and 10 points the difference after it was 8-all. Joe Taylor. He's got them for lifting in the tackle.
Come here. What I'm going to say to you is, you lift players like that, you leave yourself right open to be thrown up before the judiciary, right? Doesn't matter whether you lift between. Right, if you lift a player and you put him in a position where he can endanger himself, that's when you're in trouble, and that's what they did there.
So it wasn't that time for sure.
Yes, it was. Right, so knock it off.
Well, they escaped going on report for lifting in the tackle. Probably pulled out just at the right time.
Yeah, it's a very contentious issue, this one. It's probably scared a lot of the players. I mean, the old style tackle was to pick a bloke up, drive him backwards and land him on his back. I think a lot of the mistakes made these days are made by the guy with the football. He starts searching for the ground. Certainly no problem there for Manly on that occasion. It really did look to be the problem of the defenders.
Well, now Manly have to try and hit back, and they won't do it like that. Knock back, though. Lucky a break for Manly there. They still have possession. Kosef, Cliffy Lyons holds it up, gives it to Menzies again. Fittler read that one pretty well. Great tackle. Cliffy back to Kosef. Out the back door. 17 is on there. Adam Peters. Back to Menzies. Nowhere to go. In fact, they're going nowhere, the Sea Eagles. Sedaris waiting for a dummy half now. Penalty.
Stupid play. Yeah, I think he did pretty well to milk that as well. But another chance. Manly can get back into the game with a try here.
Yeah, they had an opportunity to take an easy 2. They want 6. Teeny from dummy half, using the referee as a bit of a shield there for a moment. Right in front of the uprights and only a couple of metres out. Sedaris, they need to go wide and in a hurry, but it's a short ball. Lines on to Menzies. No way through the gap on that occasion, though. Again, Fittler doing the tackling with Goulet. Cliffy Lyons, switch of play back to Phillips. They're a little flat-footed, though, the Sea Eagles. Sedaris, Lyons. Misses out one player. Now they put it through their hands, and Kalala was pulled down about a metre or 2 out. Just towed through by Lyons, picked up by Lamb, and Sydney City have it. Although, was it a knock-on?
Back you go.
No, it's play on. The referee, I think, just checking with the touch judge after Cliffy Lyons appeal for a knock-on. So it's still 10 points, 18 points to 8. Sydney City over Manly.
Yeah, I don't think it was a correct option for Cliffy to use on that occasion. Perhaps he was watching a game last night at Cogger Oval. It's turned out to be one that's taken a little bit of the wind out of the Sea Eagles' sails. Make sure that they don't come up with any silly penalties in this area.
Fittler. Low trajectory kick on this occasion. And Phillips is there to clean up. He'll be taken 10 from halfway. Hancock waits for it. Tuvey. The little man targeted 2 of the big men, Pickering and Barnhill. Now it's Tanny back inside. Well, Hancock really wasn't expecting that one. And Pickering runs away with it. It's a pretty good field position now for the Roosters to mount an attack. Cross goes across to Fittler with the step. The inside pass to Lamb. Brilliant ball. Back to Singh. Singh for the try line. They won't catch him. What a try to the Roosters. They're on fire here. It's their 4th try in the first half. Well, some great skills shown on that occasion. Fittler started it. Singh, the Queensland State of Origin winger, finished it.
Yeah, silly error leading the opportunity for the Roosters, shifting the ball wide. They knew that they had the defence at 6s and 7s as it took on from there. as the ball continued to go right through the hands. You could just see Manly, they looked to have a very well constructed defence. Fittler using that telegraph left foot step again to great effect. Have a look at the defensive effort from Steve Menzies there. He's covered almost twice the area. No, not trying to take anything away from Matty Singh. He did enormously well, but Singh putting himself in the great place in the supporting role.
Yeah, great effort there from Brad Fittler, engineering this try with a big left foot step on the inside ball. Good work there too from Adrian Lamb, and of course the try scorer, Matt Singh. But as you mentioned, just to show the pace of Steve Menzies, he was matching it there with Matt Singh. Second row on the centre.
Gee, that's a try that's really been handed to them, hasn't it, Greg, though? A simple error.
I thought it was all right at the time, so swipe that off.
Cleary adds the extra 2. So 24 points to 8 now. And Tuvey really isn't too happy with the proceedings out there, having a chat to the referee as well.
They did well, Manly, early to get back into this game at 8 all, but this last part of the first half, the Roosters really just have capitalised on some silly mistakes from Manly.
That's a double for Matt Singh. Peter Mulholland, you're outnumbered today, being the only New South Welshman in the commentary team. Up top, we've got 3 Queenslanders, and they'll be leaping for joy if Matt Singh can score a double next Friday night in State of Origin 1.
Yeah, that was, again, a great try, but geez, Fittler did some work on that. Again, he picked out 2 defenders that invariably will go low, being Tuvey and here we go again.
Nat Wood ran out of support, though. This has been an impressive period of play by the Roosters. Of course, they've been allowed to get away with it by this Manly defensive pattern. 30 metres out from the line now. Ryan Fletcher plays it. Back now to Ricketson. Fittler wide to Lamb. Goulet. Scott will play it about 20 metres out from the line. Final tackle. Singh having a go on his own. Does he know it's a final tackle? I don't think so.
I don't think he realised then.
Oh, there should have been a kick on at least. Manly run it out.
Gee, mate, I'm just watching Manly here. It really just stands out to me. They look to have a glaring defensive weakness at around the centres mark. How valuable was a Kiwi rugby union centre?
Craig Innes, yes, they're certainly missing not only him on attack, but he was just the all-round centre, wasn't he? Very good on defence.
Well, I think too it's their inability. Greg was saying about the pattern, but it's the individuals in that pattern that make it work, and there's a lot of guys that are low tacklers that are allowing offloads each time they do make a tackle. And the Manly, you know, with Eastern Suburb support play, that's just suicide. Sorry, Sydney City Roosters, I should say.
Now it's Phillips getting the kick in over the head of Miles, and Miles will watch it bounce into touch.
It's a great kick.
It's a very difficult position to play, Sen, especially defensively. If you get yourself into a bad position, just for a split second, it's a break or a try.
Yeah, just about every coach as well has a different idea. Both these days are playing right and left centres. Some believe in the old style, though. You defend where you need it.
Also, too, a lot of times it's one-on-one out there wide. So if you do, you know, even just half get a play, they usually offload and a break comes.
Let him in, Blue. Get in, lock. Lock it in, lock the scrum. Get in there.
Lamb feeds it for the Roosters. Robert Miles will play it. Back to Cross. Fittler waits for the dummy half. This is Dooley, picks up 10 metres or so.
Get out of it, trainer. Get off the field.
Yeah, I tell you what, this is something that really is becoming almost painful for a lot of people in rugby league. The use of the Eastern Suburbs trainer is probably more well known than a lot of the players on the football field, with all due respect. But it's apparently legal at some stages, and Gould uses it and uses it very well.
He usually stands in the back line at scrums, that bloke.
Well, of course, the real criticism came a few months ago where it was said that he was standing in behind the defensive line in goal, telling the players whether to slide left or right.
Now it's Manly. And it is 13 on 13 at the moment. Taylor is back out there. TV inside Menzies. TV. Now there's a little knock on. It was back to 1. The tackle count was restarted, but then they knocked it on.
Yes, but then you're knocked on here. Hold it, don't rush them. Form the scrums. Sydney City. Manly's up all up. They'll down
Walker
first.
looks on. Andrew Walker out for about 6 to 8 weeks. Be pretty happy that his 18-year-old clubmate Ryan Cross has had a pretty good opening to his first grade debut. I noticed that John Hopewade was in the second row. Now it's Hancock out wide, cutting back in field. But John Hopewade backing down in the second row at that last scrum for Manly. So they've got a few problems in that forward pack, and I really think they do miss a player like Daniel Gartner. Sedaris at dummy half. 17 is Peters, Adam Peters. Can Manly hit back with a try close to half-time? Kosef. There's no support. Now it's Tuvey to Lyons. Lyons picked up by Phillips. It was a line ball. The crowd appealing for a forward pass. Final tackle coming up. Now they go to the short side. Terry Hill with the kick. It came off one of the Sydney City players. They push it back in field. It's still there. It's back to 1. They've got another set of 6 if the time permits. Well, they're throwing it back to nobody. They've still got a couple of tackles remaining. No need to panic like that. 24 points to 8. The Roosters over the Seagulls, and the ball goes to Taylor now in front of the sticks.
They're going to try and shift the ball wide.
They go to Hopewade. He takes them on. He's about 5 metres out as the half-time siren sounds. They've run out of time, the Seagulls, in the first half. And so it is 24 points to 8 at the break. They led 8-0 at one stage, Sydney City, and then Manly were able to come back with that try to Menzies, and it was locked up at 8-all. But that is a very good half-time scoreline, Paul Green.
Definitely. As I mentioned previously, Manly had a great effort there to get back into this game at 8-all, but just towards the end of that first half, just made too many mistakes and gave Manly too much possession in their own half, and eventually they come up with points. When you give guys like Fittler and Lamb that much ball in your own half, they've got that many options out on the fringes, eventually they'll get you.
Wally Lewis, your thoughts on the opening 40?
Well, I thought Sydney City, were true professionals. They handled the game very well. Started as strong as they always do. I thought it's been a real quality performance. Their forwards have done well without trying to grab all the headlines from the match, but their back line really have been the shot.
Lead 24 points to 8.
Right, Jeff. 7, 6, bad.
Eddie Ward signals time on. The second 40. Can the Seagulls come back and make it a little more interesting? At the moment, they were 8-all. And I guess Bobby Fulton would have been saying things along the lines that, well, we showed that first 10 minutes that we could hit back, so now it's important that we do score first in the second 40, Wally.
Yeah, I don't think he would have gone in there and said, look, 16-point deficit, we can still win this game. He would have set his team a fairly realistic goal to try and work to the first 10 or 15 minutes in the half, because that really will set the trend for the rest of the game.
So the short side they go through Hopewade. Well, let's get some reaction from the Manly side. And Marty Gurr, the coaching and development officer for the Seagulls, joins us. And Marty, what was the message at half-time?
Oh, we're just looking to get a little bit more quality ball down their half. I think we've shown we can sort of come up with the tries when we get down there. Just a lack of possession in that first half. It was forced us coming out of our own half. consequently East have been coming out of their own half and, you know, getting a penalty on 3rd and 4th, which was sort of helping them down the paddock to be down in our danger area. So we get a bit of quality ball down their half. We're confident that we can come up with a few positives, and obviously we need tries.
It was pretty obvious to us during the first half that the Roosters seemed to be targeting your left-hand side defence. Was that highlighted at all?
Well, no, not really. I mean, it's you know, we're confident in our defence right across the field. I mean, obviously in that first half they came out with a couple of tries from just one-on-one misses, and you know, and the players have, you know, made a pact to rectify that in the second half.
Your mate feeling optimistic? You can come back?
Oh, very much so. I mean, like, I think this side's shown in the past that we can, you know, particularly in this day and age, 24-8's very much, it's not a winning scoreline, and we're looking for early points and going on with it from there.
Okay, Marty, thanks for joining us, giving us some thoughts from the Manly dressing room. Marty Gurr, the coaching and development officer. He's optimistic. Let's hope that the players can help him out with that prediction. And this is Phillips running it out from inside his own 10 for the Sea Eagles. Up towards the 20. Taken by Goulet. Now it's Menzies. 25 from halfway. Well, it's looking pretty good for the Roosters at half-time, and Brian Canavan is their football manager. Brian, you'd be pretty happy with the first 40, no doubt?
Oh, happy to come in front, but another 40 to go, as they say.
What was the message from Phil?
Oh, basically be very miserly with the ball and to control where we're giving them the ball. We want the ball in the corners, not to give them in the midfield.
Hungry, that really does look to be the best part of the game for the Roosters, controlling the possessions and the area of the football field where they're playing it. They're doing that very well.
Yeah, well, the last couple of weeks, Wally, we've been controlling most of our play, and it seems to be a bit of a habit with us for the short term anyway.
The fact that you'd won 6 in a row and you were coming off that big win over Brisbane, people said it'd be difficult for you to come back after peaking for Brisbane, but no signs of that, Brian. You're going on with the job so far.
Going on with the job. Gus really freshened the guys up late in the week. We were very tired after the Broncos game, but they're coming up today quite energetic.
All right, well, still a long way to go. Best of luck for the remainder of this match. 24 points to 8. And it is the Roosters in possession. 12 from halfway. Benetti from dummy half picks up 5 or 6 metres. Lamb at dummy half, working to that right side, and Ricketson thought he spotted a gap. It soon closed though, but he still got to the 40. Final tackle coming up. Lamb working the short side, gets the grubber kick in right into the arms of Hancock, and Lamb was there to make the tackle. What do you make of the battle of the number 7s, Paul Green? Lamb up against Tuvey.
Yeah, it's very hard to compare. I think they played, Tuvey and Lamb play very different styles of games. Bob Fulton likes Jeff Tuvey to get in there and dummy half and control the rucks, whereas Lammy likes to get out and play the ball on the fringes. But you know, I think definitely, I'd say Adrian Lamb might be a nose in front, and the scoreboard definitely shows that.
So it's Tierney now to the halfway mark. This is Tuvey at dummy half.
I think he is one player. If Manly are to come back into this game, Jeff Tuvey's one player who really has to take a bit of authority and just get them organised and get them going.
The kick from Lyons finds some open spaces, but the bounce is good for Cross. He hands it off to Miles straight away, and Robert Miles driven back, and a good tackle from Stephen Menzies.
Copybook tackle.
So Singh a double in the first half. And got the ball away to Miles. He's taken by Hill. Also in there was Torrens. Goulet. A lot of speculation about Scott Goulet's future. He says he's not going bush, but retirement is one option, rugby union is another option, and staying with the Roosters, the third option.
He's got some options, hasn't he?
Time will tell. Fittler back inside to Lamb. Benetti at dummy half. Fittler taken by Hancock. And he's going to be taken about 9 metres out from his own line. To the short side, Tuvey. Where's the support?
About 20 yards behind.
It was taken by Ellsgood. Paul Green said he had to really get involved, and that's the start of it for Tuvey. Now it's Hill, another one of their playmakers in the centres. And the New South Wales State of Origin rep has tackled about 8 metres inside Sydney City territory. The inside pass to Sidaris from Lyons. The Roosters read it well. Kosef out to Torrens. He was taken by Miles. So it's a final tackle on the way. Kosef to Lines. He goes to the air. Not a bad kick. In fact, it was taken in the end by Fletcher.
Yeah, that would have been close to, I think, Manly's most constructive set of six that they've come up with in the match. Shifting the ball all across the paddock. It looked to be good ball control. The security wasn't a problem for them. The confidence was way there, but I suppose that they've got to try anything now that they know that they can't afford to be too negative in their play.
Ricketson, 32 out from the line. His own line.
Very important that Manly don't fall into the trap of just trying to push impossible passes. They know they've got to score next, but if sometimes teams can do that, end up turning over too much ball.
A mix up at the back there. Torrens cleans up on the second occasion. Phillips out to Taylor. Big Joe taken on the 20. Sidaris got a good ball around the corner to Hill. He did well to stay in the field of play. Tuvey to Tierney. 4-on-3 out wide. Menzies. He picks up Fletcher. No, it's not. It's Duncan. In fact, the centre, I'm sorry. And Duncan was heading for the touchline. Threw it back inside. And it comes to nothing.
Unfortunate. Pay credit to a pretty good pass on that occasion from Big Neil Tierney. The ball being shifted across. He threw about a 20-metre pass, which opened up plenty of opportunities, but we just see there they really did look to have that quite substantially covered the Roosters' defence. But they know that they can't afford to rest on their laurels. Manly have shown probably more discipline in their attacking play than they did in the entire first 40 minutes of play.
Liam feeding the scrum. Fittler almost to the 30. 24 points to 8. That was the half-time scoreline. Holland. It's pretty important that Manly force a mistake here and score the first try in the second half.
Yeah, exactly right there, Greg. They really do need to that. And they haven't started too bad. That's probably the end product of a fairly good set of six.
But Eddie a dummy half to Barnhill. It was impressive in the first half. Plenty of hit-ups. Slow to get to his pins on that occasion, though. Fittler. Nobody at the back for Manly. It's over the dead ball line, so they'll come back to the 20 for the restart.
That breeze is just a bit stronger than it looks. They didn't seem to hit that one too hard. We're just sailing on the good ball.
Taylor with the hit up. Tierney, good tackle by Lamb. Big man on little man. Oh, mix up here. Menzies cleans up for the Sea Eagles. Got a good ball away to Hill. Hill got it onto Torrens, but the cover came across. Goulet did well, the second row, to read that one and shut down the movement on the flank. Now it's Tuvey. He's finding a couple of holes around the ruck. Taken by Miles. Papoate. Long ball across. They put it through Lines and Kosef. Out to Duncan. Duncan with a bit of room to move. Got it on to Hancock. It was forward. It's been called back. The cover got there anyway. But some promising stuff out wide by the Sea Eagles. It didn't come off, but that will give them some encouragement.
Yeah, we've got some quality football being played at the moment. Manly shifting the ball across field. The eastern suburbs or Sydney City Roosters defence able to match it every time. Not too many mistakes coming up, so there's some good play being shown. A very important stage of the game.
Outside legs. Play it still.
Adrian Lamb gives it to Cross. 12 metres out from his own line. Fittler takes them on. Runs into 3 defenders. 14, Justin Dooley to the 30-metre mark. The push and shove between Dooley and Hill. This is Brian Fletcher. He popped it out the back door, picks up Singh. Matt Singh, oh, he almost through. In the end, Kalala just pulled him down. Now it's Goulet winding up. What a dummy half. Good set of 6 so far for the Roosters. Lamb runs to the line. Kicks on the inside for Wood. Who's going to get the bounce? It's a knock on. Manly have knocked the ball on a metre out from their own try line. The scrum will pack down now on the 10-metre mark. And the Roosters will get the feet into the scrum.
Yeah, they did just save a try there, but I've got to pay credit to Cliffy Lyons. There was no one at home.
The referee's having a word to Terry Hill in back play, and also Dooley after they had that pushing match.
Just settle down. What I'm going to say to both of you is if you're looking at each other all the time, you both want to stuff around. The touchy did say that you were more the aggressor. You hold them down. Don't hold. Once you've tackled them, you may have been the powerful one, but then you've got to get out of it, right? Both of you, settle down.
Terry Hill agreeing with the referee there. No good arguing with him.
Never going to win one, are you? Never going to win an argument with the ref.
Hold it. Nice and easy.
What an important scrum here.
Get in, 13. Lock it, 13.
The Roosters really aiming to drive the last nail home. Lamb across field, back inside it goes, and Cross has got a double on debut. Well, it was simple stuff in the end. Came from the Manly knock on, and what about Ryan Cross, the 18-year-old, living up to his reputation? A double on debut, and it's all smiles.
Yeah, it was an example of just providing too much time and space. Adrian Lamb simply took the ball across the park. Hang off, wait all the time. I saw that once they offered the opportunity on the inside, it wasn't to be wasted by a young guy that's got his first chance at first-grade football.
Guys like Adrian Lamb love having defences hold off and waiting for them to try and read what he's going to do. As soon as they do that, defensive lines are in trouble. You've got guys like this Ryan Cross who looks to be a real class player, hitting gaps. That's what's going to happen.
Well, Pete, they're in a situation, Peter Mulholland, that when they run the ball across the field, Manly for a couple of years, Cliffy Lyons, it was very difficult to be able to come up with him. I used to try and think it was a better plan to play a sniper in your defensive pattern and just race out of the line and take them, keep the rest in a pretty formed and a disciplined state of defence.
Yeah, that's exactly right, Wally. This goal's converted by Ivan Cleary. Yeah, you're exactly right, to have the sniper come at him. And you can watch this here as well. I think Brad Fittler on this next replay, if we get hold of it. Brad Fittler comes under, holds up the fullback. Straight away, Tuvi's there, but it's too big a hole. Nick Kosef just didn't make the yards up inside of Tuvi, and perhaps to have a sniper at someone that's coming across like that is a reasonable option.
30 points to 8. Sydney City over Manly. Now it's Alsgood. A bit of Manly pride on the line here. As Barnhill takes it to the line as he's been doing for 54 minutes in this match.
Come, Manny, right clear.
To the short side, Lamb inside, but Goulet left it behind. Picked up by Taylor. He'll take the tackle a couple of metres inside the Roosters' territory. Hopoate. Straight ahead goes the big centre. He's had a spell in the forwards in this match as well. Tuvi to Peters. Kosef. Lyons. Cliffy picks up 15. Alf Duncan. He's got some big raps on him too, the centre.
He looks
off the interchange bench.
Looks to be very good on his feet, always taking on his man.
Well, they've just wasted 2 try-scoring opportunities in that corner. The first one, we saw the winger came in. Craig Hancock should have stayed out wide.
Now the double round between Taylor and Cliffy. Back inside to Phillips. Phillips, he needed someone on his hip. It wasn't there. Still one tackle remaining. Hopewada dummy half to Lyons. They need to shift it wide. Tuvey missing out players. Duncan, Sidaris and Hancock will dot it down in the corner. It's a fair try. So maybe they're not out of it just yet. The Manly Sea Eagles, they put it through the hands, but for a moment, I thought they'd held it up too long.
Yeah. They were lucky to get there in the end, Greg, I think. Wondering whether he was going to listening for the whistle. Lyons shifting it wide. Tuvey got the ball across. No worries from here. These last two passes, there was some question. I suppose the last one was okay. The second last one was the one that I had a little bit of question in for.
Yeah, it looks to be flat on the replay. A bit hard to tell from that replay, but just great hands through the hands, drawing their man. Simple stuff, but very, very effective and well done.
Well, that's what it's been all about, though, Greg, hasn't it? We haven't seen them shifting the ball wide, and when they have been able to shift the ball wide, they've put extreme pressure on the Sydney City defence.
It just had to be shifted very quickly on that occasion. I think Jeff may have taken one step too many to give the cover defence an opportunity to get across. But they've posted their first try in the second half, Manly, so it's 30 points to 12 with the kick to come. Behind the post there, it's Luke Phillips. Out wide. It's not going to have the legs or the direction. No goal. 18 points, 3 converted tries. Peter Mulholland, you're a betting man. Can they do it?
No, look, I don't think I'll have a bet on that one at all, mate. Very interesting, that try, though. Both tries Manly have scored have been aimed towards the Roosters Manly connection, or ex-Manly connection, in Ivan Cleary and Jack Elsgood. Both of them seem to be at 6s and 7s and that, but as Paul Green and Wally said, it was just great hands and ball movement.
It will be Cleary with the restart, taking plenty of time with it as well as we head for the 58th minute. Hancock, the veteran winger, the try. There's the restart. Phillips, the fullback, takes it on the full. Hopewada. His role as a second rower. Terry Hill up towards halfway. They get the penalty. So this will give them pretty good field position.
Terry, just play it. I'll worry about the rest of that, eh? Just play it.
Lyons finds touch. Penalties 5-4 to Sydney City. Still a great pass. Lack of communication there. Picked up by Tierney. They lose ground. Tuvey out of dummy half.
The Sea Eagles really missing Craig Field today. They just lack that organisation around the rucks. Seen a few passes that have gone astray today, which is very unlike Manly.
Kosef to Torrens. For a moment it looked like he bounced out of the tackle of Singh. Wasn't to be. Lyons holds up a short ball for Phillips. It was a great ball. Phillips couldn't keep the momentum going though. Final tackle coming up. Kosef to Lyons. Tuvey.
Too early.
Hill for the line. Terry Hill's got a try. 2 quick tries. All of a sudden Manly have got a sniff.
Well, I jumped in a bit quick there. I went too early. But it looked like it was a situation where Jeff Tuvey, all he had to do was draw the man in pass. Lyons really starting to play a major role in Manly's attack at the moment, shifting the ball side to side. That's really what's made them so difficult to handle for the Roosters' defence. Cliff throwing the ball to Tuvey there. He really looked like he handed it on a bit too quick. Thankfully, Hill's sheer strength and size got him through. A little bit of interest back in this game, Paul.
Yeah, that's right. 2 quick tries from Manly, and just makes it a little bit more interesting. But great work here from Terry Hill. As well, he mentioned he thought Jeff Tuvey just passed the ball a little bit too early, but Hill just was too big and too strong.
And a prolific try scorer in his career, Terry Hill. New South Wales centre next Friday night here at the Sydney Football Stadium in State of Origin 1. Luke Phillips. They're 5 metres in from the touchline. Bringing it around, but not enough. No goal. 30 points to 16. Still the Roosters in control here.
Manly actually running it on the 5th tackle then rather than preferring the kick. Just shows that they're willing to try just about anything to get back into this match.
Paul, I think too the difference, like you just said, not having Craig Field out there, but in 4 of that tackles in that set of 6, Nick Kosef took first receiver.
Yeah, he's really...
he's directing the traffic with Lyons second receiver, and it looked like it was a far more organised outfit.
Yeah, well, he's got the skills to be able to do that, and I think that's definitely what Manly needed. They needed someone in there to get themselves organised.
Plenty of time remaining for the Sea Eagles. Strong return of the football from Damien Brown. Hopewadi. Is this a sign of the future? Hopewadi in the second row. Wally?
Well, I don't think it's such a bad move. I mean, he is one of the most aggressive ball runners in the competition. He quite often gets involved in some heated exchanges, but having him run the ball in the middle would probably help that a little bit. And gee, he's a tough bloke to hold down. Shows a bit of example too to some of the rest of the players.
Kosef up over halfway. Turvey waits for the dummy half on the final tackle. Lyons, the midfield bomb. Phillips contested it, gave it back to Cliffy. He handed it on, and that's a try to Alf Duncan. 3 quick tries, and I'll tell you what, the Roosters have gone to sleep here, but the referee is asking for some assistance from the video referee.
9, I think it was. 9.
Well, actually, he's calling one of the Sydney City players out. And I can tell you what, Luke Phillips take a bow. The ball that was kicked through. You can see a report coming.
Players coming to the tackle, sitting up around the shoulder and then come up around the throat.
We're talking about this tackle just back down here before there's 3 of you involved in it. 3 of you involved in down there, that's what we're talking about. Get the tackles down, we'll stay swimming, right?
Well, that's pretty much okay. I mean, that was about 3 tackles before.
Here's the tackle he's talking about. The try has been awarded, but they weren't happy with that high shot there.
Well, he's got the wrong man there. It was Brad Fittler. Maybe he was looking at him upside down. It was the number 6 that did it, not number 9. Slip of conversion being posted.
Yep, Phillips adds the extras, and it was Phillips that really set the try up, leaping in the air, taking the kick. 30 points to 22. They're back.
Once again, Manly willing to try anything. The old midfield bomb. Normally teams only use the bomb right close to the try line, but there, the midfield bomb coming up with the goods. Great take by Luke Phillips.
Great take, Phillips. Great offload to Lyons. He didn't have the pace, but Duncan had a clear run to the line. 3 tries in 7 minutes for the Manly Sea Eagles. And now Tini is 15 out from his own line. Hopewadi still full of running. Good hit up by the centre come second rower. To the short side, Turvey finds Sidaris. Sidaris got rid of 1 defender. Links up with the support. That's Brown. Damien Brown. Kosef to halfway. Injured wrist for Hopewadi. Tini, the final tackle coming up. Until they go to the air again. It worked last time for them. Cliffy Lyons. Hey! He hoists it. This time, though, they take it. The Roosters.
One of the Manly players, Phillips, has been carpeted in back play. Now, just how much influence?
They're just coming through, but they take out the play number 1.
This one here. No number. Brad, don't worry about that. Brad. Listen, Brad. Brad, listen. You settle yourself down for starters, right? All we're going to do is talk about it. Don't. Yes, we are. Why? Because you just don't want to report it. Quiet, Brad. Brad, listen. You settle yourself down a bit.
I'm trying to. We're not going to go in.
You are.
We're not.
Listen. We didn't get the numbers, but the penalty's going against you for the player getting taken out. That's the touch judge report.
No,
that's it.
that's it.
Like there.
Well, Brad Fittler saying they're not getting a fair go. He had plenty to say there, as you heard. But the penalty goes to Manly. Do they take the 2 from right in front, 30 out? They will. They'll just settle things down. So there's the player getting taken out.
Well, he did look like he got bowled over. Just how much? There was 2 of them that went down. So maybe Brad didn't quite see it, but just how much influence the Roosters players had on effectively taking the Manly players out. And a very important goal kick coming up here. Phillips may be able to reduce the gap to just 6 points. This is a contest.
Great comeback by Manly. They look to be gone for all money. He raises the flags from right in front. 30 points to 24. A converted try now will lock it up. Benetti and the rest of his teammates, well, they've gone to sleep over the last 10 minutes. We have to go back to the comments from Marty Gurr just after half-time with his dressing room report saying he was optimistic and felt that they weren't out of it, and that has been the case.
Well, this next set of 6 really could spell their chances for the rest of the match. Got to make sure that they make some territory. As Hopewadi hits up the middle, a job he's effectively carried out over the last 10 or 15 minutes, but it's got to be a very good kick and chase game. Nullify the amount that Ivan Cleary's able to return the ball.
It's very important that Manly get out of their own half this set of 6. A lot of times you see sides on the way back into a match and they'll come up with a mistake in their own half and just turn the whole momentum of the game.
Well, there it is, and Singh comes up with it for the Roosters. Well read, Paul Green. You put the mocker on them.
Yeah, it was great defence there. Actually, if it hadn't have been for that smothering tackle, Manly could have been well and truly on the attack.
And this is exactly what they need. A big run from the big man, James Pickering, just to get them going forward again. They haven't seen much of the football in the last 10 minutes or so. Goulet to the short side. Ricketson thought he spotted a gap. It soon closed. Singh at dummy half, 26 metres out from the line. Now it's Fittler, allowed to run to the defensive line. 20 metres out. Benetti at dummy half. He's going to have a dart from there. Working themselves into very good position now. Lamb and Fittler. Fittler with the one-pointer. No, he's missed it.
Well, Britain being Brad's favourite goal, drop goal. Even Eddie Ward seeing the amusing side of that kick. I think Brad would be all that happy about it, but a pretty smart play. Showed good captaincy reading there to be able to come up with the chance to stretch the gap to 7.
Yeah, it would have been a good option there for the Roosters had he held a bit better.
So it's still a 6-point ball game, 30 to 24. Hill, good strong run. Now it's Sidaris. Not too many sides have the situation where the number 9 is basically playing as a third front rower, or the number 7 is working at the dummy half position. Now it's Tierney inside Sydney City territory by 10 metres. Final tackle, a good set of 6 by the Sea Eagles. There's a bomb again. It's there for the Roosters. The ball was knocked back. It was claimed by Fittler. Cleary. I think Cleary might be playing at fullback at the moment. I think they've rested the youngster Ryan Cross. 18 is on there. That's Julian Bailey. He's 10 from halfway. Benetti at dummy half. Nigel Gaffey. Lamb. Goulet, the angle run, back in field. Final tackle coming up. Fittler. Needs it to sit up in the in goal. And it does. Phillips is going to have to try and get it out of there. It passes over to Torrens, and Torrens will run it out by about 6 metres.
Well, he did bad, and then he did good again. Bad mistake to allow the ball to run so deeply. It didn't look like it was going to go anywhere near touch in goal. Effectively, though, given a little bit of assistance by Torrens getting back to be able to give him some support. It could have been fatal for Manly's chances had they been forced to have a drop restart.
Tierney offloads to Hancock. Bit of a slight fumble, but he holds on. To the short side, they work it through Kosef back inside. And Brown will take it to the 50. Lyons having a run on his own, Cliffy. Now he turns it back into Hill. Hill gets it back to Torrens, who gets the left-footed kick in. Not a good one. The Roosters prepared to allow it to bounce, but Tierney picks it up. Well, offside.
Well, the referee has called him offside, but the winger has run them through.
He was still inside the 10 when he went past him.
You've heard
It was over 10.
referee Eddie Ward has called him that he had to stay outside the 10. I think Eddie's found it a little bit hard. Then again, he can't have eyes in the back of his head. Got to see the light from his way. Torrens running through, effectively calling the big fella offside for being inside the 10 before he had the chance to be run onside by Albert Torrens.
10 minutes remaining. The Roosters by 6. Fittler not picking up too many metres, but finding touch on the far side. Now it's Pickering. He makes it to the halfway and gets the pass away to Singh. Matt Singh stepping, picks up another 10 metres. Well, it's the Roosters just working themselves into good field position again. Gaffey plays it. Vanetti to Lamb and Fittler. Fittler taking them on. Tackled by Menzies and also Lyons. To the short side they go. Ricketson.
Well, they've got to shift the ball in the middle here, take it up as far as they can, set themselves for a one-pointer.
They've already had one crack at it.
Yeah. Going back to the middle there with Goulet.
Manly in a bit of trouble. They haven't got good chasers out of marker.
Well, who is it? Cleary? No. Lamb? No. They have to run it. Lamb with the kick over the top. Picked up, though, by Torrens. Albert Torrens read it pretty well and then runs it out 15 metres from his own try line. And now it's Hill. Manly need a converted try to lock it up again. They're at the wrong end of the park, though.
The Roosters should have really come up with a bit more positive kick there, as we've seen Neil Tierney knock on.
Yeah, bad mistake, just took the eyes off the ball, and so they get another opportunity to put the pressure on and work.
That's it.
Well, they're not going to work for one. They've got an opportunity to pick up two. Manly inside the 10. Eddie Ward, the referee. Well, he's warned them. Well, he's pinged them.
Yeah, that's right. He did come out with a very vocal call to make them well known that they were offside, but there's the man that probably will be feeling the weight of the world on his shoulders at the moment. Gee, it looked like there was about 5 or 6 of them offside there. Tierney was one of those guys, I think, but he was the one that came up with the original error, I think.
Yeah.
The turnover and possession after just 2 tackles from Manly. So it'll be a very, very tough situation for them at the moment, although there's still 7.5 minutes remaining in the match. They realise that this stretches the gap past a converted try, and all the work that they've been able to come up with to make this a terribly exciting encounter may have been wasted.
Cleary. There's the extra 2.
Really is
There's the 8-point ball game.
Yeah, it's a real psychological advantage for the Roosters now, knowing, for Manly, just knowing that you have to score at least twice to at least tie the game up or to win it.
Oh, now that's crazy. They don't have to do that.
No, that's right. There's still plenty of time left.
Almost 7 minutes remaining in the match. They have the opportunity to be able to kick deep. Oh, boy. I've got a bloke at home that'll kick it further than that.
Yeah. So the penalty goes to the Roosters on halfway. Cleary finds touch. Picks up another 11 metres. Penalty's 8-5 to the Roosters. Dooley. They only really have to work themselves into a position for a field goal again to eat away the time. Put over the one-pointer.
Or even a restart for Roosters is a good result for them to get the ball back.
Fittler. Don't forget, at the end of this match, we'll have our NEC man of the match. Some good performances out there on both sides, Pete Mulholland.
There are, but I don't know. I was just saying, Wally reckons his young bloke at home could kick it that far. I just don't understand how a team could show the maturity they did to get back into this game and just make that one vital error, or 2 or 3, and then the game's over again.
Well, Ricketson has taken about 19 metres out. Fittler. There it is. He goes to the air, in fact. And Torrens under a bit of pressure, but takes it in goal. But no, he's knocked it backwards, but it's not taken on the full, so it's a restart from between the sticks. Well, he looked to have it under control, didn't he?
Well, he looked like he had it. There didn't seem to be any problem at all, but there it is. The ball went simply to the ground. He had plenty of time on board. Jeff Tooby struggling at the moment. The Manly trainer getting to him. The blood.
Blood bin. Blood bin. Blood bin.
Jeff wants to stay on there, but he's been sent to the blood bin.
I got time off.
Manly players reminding the referee that they want time off.
And the clock's still going. It's still ticking away.
It's all over enough. It's just going to keep bleeding. It is, but it's all gags and it's just going to keep bleeding.
So Turvey to the blood bin. Replacement is on there for Manly. And there's the restart. And Luke Ricketson will play it. Now it's Lamb and Barnhill. Makes it to the 20. Working on Turvey's left eye. Dooley. Fittler to Lamb. Showing the ball, calling runners on the inside. Fletcher was there to take the pass. Wood at dummy half. Lamb with the dummy. Shot ball, Goulet, that's the ball game. He got it down. The fans are on their feet. Sydney City, 7 wins in a row. And they retain a share of the lead in the NRL of 98.
And once again, it's a very cleverly timed pass. Just on the edge of the ruck. Adrian Lamb shifting, confusing the defence a little bit. Nick Kosep was the one that was most confused. Thought the ball was being shifted wide. Lamb simply took off. The big fella started on the inside, ran into the hole, riding just too much for a very tired Manly defence.
Yeah, just double pumping it there. Adrian Lamb throwing the dummy first and making the defenders think he's going wide. So as they start to slide out, he just hits Goulet with a short ball off his shoulder. And the big fella carries a couple over with him.
30 years of age now, Scott Goulet, but he's been in good form. Well, the back three for the Roosters have been in good form, haven't they? Goulet, Ricketson and Gaffey. Cleary 6 from 7. Oops. Oh, fell off the mound. He'll reset. So they had a bit of a fright in the second half, the Roosters, but to their credit, they've been able to hit back and clinch it. 4 tries to 1 in the first half, but it's 3 tries to 2 to Manly in the second half. 36-24 becomes 38-24. And Pete Mulholland, Lamb, you just cannot give him the sort of space that they gave him on that occasion.
You certainly can't, but again, they're entitled to come off the line and nominate a man here, not go into slide, and just give everybody the opportunity, you know, to be wrong-footed. That's basically what it amounts to. Yeah, they just need to concentrate on getting off the line in that situation.
From the restart, Fletcher has it. Ricketson. Wood now dummy half, finds Dooley. They've got some good workers up front, the Roosters, when you think about it. Dooley's come off the bench and he's done a good job. Barnhill's had a fine performance. Pickering, they've still got Jason Lowry to come back as well. The Roosters looking as if this could be the year that they could go all the way. 7 straight victories. Fletcher offloads to Dooley. He makes it to the halfway. Final tackle coming up. Lamb nudging it down into the corner and not into touch. Phillips is back there. He's claimed by Ellsgood, about 6 metres out. Out wide, they've still got Richie Barnett to come back, and they've also got Andrew Walker. He'll be back in about 6 to 7, maybe 8 weeks.
Yeah, they've got great depth.
Well, Lamb's picked it up after the mistake by the Sea Eagles, and that really is the clincher. Another 4-pointer for Adrian Lamb. 42 points to 24. The biggest win over Manly by Sydney City was 38 points. That was 40 points to 2 back in 1982 at the SCG. This is certainly their biggest win here at the Sydney Football Stadium over Manly.
Don't see too many of those from Nick Kosef. He's a guy that generally is one of the safest on the football field. Looked like he just had a bit of a peep on that occasion. He won't be too happy, Nick. But on the other side of the coin, he's been one of their best all day long. He's kept trying.
So Lamb caps a pretty good performance with the try right on full time. Cleary from right in front.
So making 144 points against Manly, I think, in the last 4 games.
The flags go up. Referee calls full time, and it is a 20-point win in the end to Sydney City, who looked in danger of allowing Manly to come from behind in the second half after Manly posted 3 tries in 7 minutes. But to their credit, the Roosters have run away with it in the end, 44 to 24. And Wally, they retain a share of the lead.
Yes, they do, and they did it in pretty good fashion. But I think today was really a match that both teams needed. The Roosters win over Brisbane last week may have left them a little bit mentally fatigued. Of course, we heard their trying to blind Canavan mention that they were a little bit flat. And until halftime today, it really looked like it was going to be a comfortable win. But the comeback by Manly really forced them to dig deep. They dug very, very deep, and towards the end of the game, they displayed the same sort of class and style that they had in the first 20 or 30 minutes in the game. Manly, though, although they'll be disappointed with the vast scoreline at the end of the game, 44 points against them, when it was a match at 30 to 24, I think that they would have pointed out to themselves that they know that they have the intestinal fortitude to be able to mix and match it with the best. They've done quite well for themselves, and although the score is a shocker, I think Bob Fulton will get a fair bit out of the game.
I think Manly just fell into the trap there for a minute. Towards that end of that second half, they tried to play catch-up football and really push the ball and come up with a few mistakes. Roosters got the ball with some good field position and come up with the points.
Okay, well, let's go sideline now to our NEC man of the match, and he is with Peter Mulholland.
Yeah, with me is Brad Fittler. Congratulations, mate. A great performance from yourself, but a real tight one at the end.
Mate, fantastic first half. We did what we were supposed to do. The second half, like any side, Manly had a bit of the ball, and they had a bit of luck the other way. They're going to score some tries, but I think the sign of a good side is the side that can get out of that rut, and we did. And I'm real proud of all the boys, and I'm sure Gus will have a few words to say.
A great start after a big win last week too, mate, to get away as quick as you did.
That was the important thing, coming off a big win. We had to show all the sides that are going to be big tenders in these big games. And,
right, mate, well done on that, and congratulations.
Thanks, Pete. Cheers, bro.
Yeah, well played. And on behalf of Paul Green and also Peter Mulholland and Wally Lewis, thank you for your company. 44-24, a win to Sydney City, and it's a good afternoon from the Sydney Football Stadium.
Well, that's unforgivable. Shooting down the short side on the last, handing the football over. Had to kick it or get it to a kicker.
They're playing a very compressed defence, Newcastle. Means that the defence has to stay alert.